Welcome to the Restricted Handling Podcast. This is what's been going on in China in the past 24 hours. Let's start with Taiwan, our favorite island nation that is constantly dealing with China's push to have it fall in line with their idea of one China. Well, the game is still on. Taiwan is doubling down on defense, not just with its military, but getting its citizens ready for the worst. They've been running civil defense programs where everyday folks are training up for a Chinese invasion. I mean, you've got people like Lim Xianghua, a 37-year-old occupational therapist, showing up to work with a backpack stuffed with survival gear, ready to run if things hit the fan. She's ready to go full survivalist mode. And honestly, if I were her, I'd be doing the same. People are learning survival skills, packing emergency kits, and, get this, they're even learning how to communicate if China decides to mess with Taiwan's internet. Kind of gives you a Walking Dead vibe, but make it geopolitical, right? Now, the Taiwanese government isn't just relying on civilians to handle things. They're also pushing for a big $40 billion defense spending plan to up their military capabilities, which, of course, has the opposition party in a bit of a bind. There's political pushback. As expected, defense spending is a hot potato in Taiwan, especially when it comes to the finer details. But for the Taiwan government, it's all about building that deterrence. They want to make it clear to China that any thoughts of invading would be met with one heck of a challenge. Whether that's through advanced missile defense systems or building up a fleet of domestically made submarines, Taiwan is preparing for a long fight if it comes to that. This is a country that's always had to be on high alert, but now they're taking it to a new level. Switching gears, let's talk about the United States and some heavy-duty drama unfolding right in Silicon Valley. The Department of Justice has dropped some serious charges on 3 individuals involved in a plot to smuggle Nvidia's high-end AI chips to China. This isn't some low-level street crime. We're talking about billions of dollars worth of cutting-edge tech that could help China's military and AI advancements. The 3 guys, 2 of them are Taiwanese, 1 is a U.S. citizen, are tied to a company called Super Microcomputer, a major tech player that's been in business since the 90s. Now, they've allegedly been using a series of dummy servers and fake paperwork to ship Nvidia chips to China, bypassing U.S. export controls. These chips, by the way, are so tightly controlled that they can't be sold to China without special permission, because the U.S. doesn't want China getting their hands on anything that could give them an edge in artificial intelligence or military tech. The FBI has gotten involved, and it's a real mess. The 3 allegedly worked with a company in Southeast Asia to repackage these servers, remove serial numbers, and ship them off to China without anyone noticing. Supermicro itself has made it clear they're cooperating with the investigation, but man, this is the kind of thing that makes you wonder how deep the rabbit hole goes when it comes to tech espionage. There's a lot at stake here, not just for the tech industry, but for national security. Okay, shifting gears again, because this one's just too interesting to leave out. China has hit a major milestone with its oil production. In 2025, it hit a record high of 4.32 million barrels per day, making it the highest it's ever been. But before you think this is some kind of victory lap for China's energy sector, hold up. Experts are saying that this is as high as it's going to get for a while. The country's been drilling at full throttle, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Offshore oil production is slowing down, and China is finding it harder to extract oil from its shale fields. On top of that, the cost of extracting unconventional oil is rising, so the growth is expected to plateau. And as China's oil demand continues to climb, they'll have to keep relying on imports, over 11 million barrels per day. So while they've made a big push for energy independence, the reality is that they're still going to need the rest of the world for their oil fix. And now let's talk about what's happening in the South China Sea, where tensions are, unsurprisingly, heating up. The Philippines is back at it, accusing China of some pretty aggressive actions in the disputed waters. On March 7th, a Chinese naval vessel locked its radar on a Philippine frigate that was patrolling the Sabina Shoal. This is a serious move. Fire control radar is what you use to target missiles or shells, so it's not just a friendly, hey, we're here kind of situation. The Philippines called it alarming and provocative. And to be honest, that's not an understatement. It's exactly the kind of move that could escalate things if things aren't kept in check. The two countries have had their fair share of run ins in these waters, and it's really a powder keg waiting to go off. Finally, let's finish with some more political moves coming out of Macau. On March 19th, Macau's legislature passed a new national security law that's going to tighten Beijing's grip on the city. The law now gives judges the power to hold court proceedings behind closed doors if it's deemed necessary for national security. This is just the latest in a series of moves to suppress dissent in Macau. It's clear that Beijing is continuing to solidify its control over its territories, and Macau is no exception. The pro-democracy movement there has been shrinking, and with this law, the government now has even more authority to silence opposition. You can't help but think about Hong Kong and the way Beijing took over there, too. It's a pretty troubling trend for the region. Before we wrap up, a quick mention of China's crackdown on fentanyl precursor chemicals. This is a big deal, especially for the U.S., which has long been concerned about the flow of illicit fentanyl into the country. In a recent operation, Chinese authorities seized several tons of chemicals used to make fentanyl and arrested a number of people involved in the trade. It's a step in the right direction, but the U.S. wants to see more than just arrests. They want to see real seizures and convictions. That's where the rubber meets the road, as they say. Thanks for listening and helping grow our community. Please take a moment to leave a 5-star review. We also publish a daily written intel brief on Substack, where you'll find even deeper coverage of Russia and China, along with insights on Iran, the Middle East, and the DPRK.